Okay, Flow Point Method podcast number 1. This is a podcast generated for the diehard skiers. We are trying to offer the very best concepts, information, and anything that's going to help you guys become better skiers. It's obviously a spinoff from the Flow Point Method. You can check out more about the Flow Point Method at flowpointmethod.com. This first episode is Will Asher. It's a short one. We're going to try to keep these things short and sweet. I don't actually know how long it is yet because I haven't finished it, but I'm putting it together right now. And we talk about the importance of trying new things. Will has been a master when it comes to this. His whole career, he is dedicated to trying new skis, trying new boots, trying new shapes, breaking a ski, putting it back together, trying that, trying new weights, trying new fitness routines. The list is endless. The guy has tried almost everything. I think he's tried more iterations than any other pro skier probably ever. So to get to talk to him about this was pretty cool. So I can't wait to share this with you guys. Let us know what you think. Let us know what you want to hear more of, as this is a new platform dedicated only to water skiers. We're not going to be getting in the weeds talking about what your favorite foods are, what your favorite colors are. We're going to bring on guests who want to talk about how to become better water skiers, or how to enjoy the process, or how to be able to do it for longer. Anything and everything to do with improving yourself as a water skier. That's the Flow Point Method podcast. Enjoy this one, guys. I mean, you could get as granular or as broad as you want, but I know for you on the water, your technical approach to skiing, you try new things often.
Yeah.
Your equipment, you try new things often. Your training, you've tried new things often. I mean, I think you probably done more iterations than most other skiers combined. And what is that? Are you trying to find the boundaries? Are you just seriously like trying to do the opposite just to see if it like feels
Pretty
better
much.
or worse? Or
Yeah, pretty much. It's like,
what's the thought process?
well, you can move the fin 4 or 5 thousandths and maybe you're going to feel a difference, or, but, I think that was better. But then you can move it 50 thousandths or 100,000, you're going to feel it, you're going to know there's a difference.
Yeah.
So, I mean, as far as just my training, whether it was from biking and running to CrossFit, I was like, I went from being 170 pounds to 200 pounds.
Yeah.
That's, and then the next, I was there for a couple of years, and then I was down to, back to 180-ish, it's kind of like, seems to be my, but I feel like if I hadn't done that, I would always kind of, boss man Dave.
Yeah.
I've just never been scared. I think it comes back to, I don't think I need to, everyone's a little bit different, but I don't feel like I've got to worry about winning a tournament, or that's not my, I'm going to commit 100%, and if it's better, it's going to be better, but I'm going to commit 100%.
Okay.
So I'm just not scared of trying stuff. Yeah. I enjoy that process of,
Exploration.
yeah. And, maybe it's like, well, growing up, we had Andy or whatever, and he weighed about this much. He did this kind of stuff. I want to know what he maybe felt like,
Yeah.
in his body. And he, I know he did a lot of Olympic lifting, running, biking. So I did that.
Dave.
Yeah.
My question is, you've got a lot of skiers listening who are amateur skiers who just do it for the love of the sport. They may ski tournaments,
Yeah.
they may go to regionals and nationals, but their whole goal isn't, they're really not tournament like winning centric. They just want to be a better skier. They'll buy the new gear, they'll listen to the new technique, they're a student. However, I feel like so many skiers are so afraid to try to go free ski a set, or to try a different ski or a different binding configuration, because they don't want to lose what they think they have.
Sure.
And what you've done is you've shown that I can go dabble in this, I can go dabble in that, I can try all these things. I always have my baseline that I can come back to hit reset.
Yeah.
Usually.
Yeah. I don't know. I've always done that. Ever since I was a kid, I'd never like stick to one thing and that'll be it. I'd always, 5, 6, 7 skis in a season, no big deal. In between rounds, change skis.
Tell me a story. Tell me a story when that worked. I want to hear a success story. When that didn't bite you in the ass, trying something new, trying something outside the box when it didn't bite you in the ass.
Malibu Open, when it was in Milwaukee, first round, 2.5 at 39, last. Like, I'm like, shit. I go to KLP because he was there. I was like, KLP, what are we going to do? Or, hey, what do you think? He's like, I have one of your skis. And he had his motorhome with him. He's like, I have one of your skis that you rode in the spring. And I remember you saying you liked it, but then, you move on to other things.
Yeah.
That happens so often with me. I'll build a ski, I'll work a ski, and I won't even ride it. And then a couple of years later, I'll ride it, and I'm like, why didn't I ride this thing?
Yeah.
But anyway, so he pulled it out, and then we went to another lake, and we skied that day. I'm like, oh, wow, this is really good, around 39, back to back.
Wow.
Came back next day, got the top score, and then ended up winning the tournament.
Damn.
So that was that was a big one.
That's a lesson. That's a life lesson.
Yeah. Just, if it's not working, you may as well just roll the dice.
Yeah.
I mean, I knew it wasn't going to be a fin change. I knew it was a long way from where I needed to be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can we hear a failure story? One time where it bit you in the ass?
Or it bit me in the ass. That's normally, like, I used to be really good about self-sabotaging leading into events. And it was Nicole was the one that called me out on it.
Really?
It's like, have you ever noticed that, like, a couple of days, it's normally the Masters. Like, have you ever noticed, like, the Monday before Masters that you're just a basket case and you're just wanting to change everything? So, like, how is it, Friday, Saturday, you'll ski and you'll come home and be like, wow, that was like the best feelings. I'm so ready.
Yeah.
Monday, wheels fall off, change my ski, fin, everything's gone. So I've done that several times, but that's more of a self-sabotage.
Yeah.
So now I just don't really ski the week before Masters.
You just take the whole week off.
I'm like, essentially, if I have a good set, like that's it. But just change stuff. Yeah, I've always liked to do it. But I also knew essentially I wanted to get to a point where I was going to have the knowledge or the skill base to be able to do some of the things now that I work on with skis.
Yeah.
And I knew it was going to be a long process. And it's like, well, if you're not willing to, like, risk it, try things, try extremes, then you're never going to learn. You can't. Like you or Bob or Chris or Dave or anyone, you can't tell me how it's going to feel. Essentially, at the end of the day,
you got to experience it for yourself.
I think so. Yeah. Especially if you want to be able to, test something new and then address it and give some honest feedback. You've got to have some experience.
Yep. I think that's the most powerful, in my opinion. I feel like that could be, let me rephrase, to start things off. I think the reason we ski is because the feeling of the experience of skiing, the sensation of skiing has got us from the very beginning. All the other stuff is secondary, but that feeling, that sensation, and that experience of Will Asher skiing or Marcus Brown or Bob LaPointe or Dave or whoever it is, that is a unique experience to you. And that's what's so crazy about the sport is there's fundamentals, and that's where I key in on, because I'm trying to deconstruct how skiing works so that then I can reconstruct it in a simple way that the most people possible can understand. However, that's all words. That's all words and maybe some figures and maybe some pictures. That's not the feeling. I can't just give the feeling to people that you have. I can't give to people the feeling that I have. So when it gets back to what you just said, I think being unafraid to try new things is being curious and hungry in the way that we were the very first time we skied. Is that you're looking for a new sensation, realizing that the sensation you have right now when you ski, to get better, you have to have a slightly different sensation, a slightly different feeling. Otherwise, if it feels the same, you're going to ski the same. That's just the way it is.
It's probably going to be uncomfortable.
It's got to be uncomfortable sometimes. And that's what you mastered is that leaning into, I sent you a podcast, Andrew Huberman. He's a neurobiologist in Stanford.
Listen to it, yeah.
He referenced David Goggins, who's been on Joe Rogan, and they found that when David went to their lab in Stanford, they found that whenever he identified something that scared him, his next move was to move into it, was to lean into it, was to explore it instead of away from it. And I feel like that in and of itself is exactly what you mastered in skiing with trying new things. You've discovered it on your own, whether you knew it or not, how important it was, helps you overcome fears. It helps you learn new skills, how to shape and manipulate skis, how to build your own bindings. I just think you can't underestimate the value inherent in trying new things.
Yeah.
It's going to lead everybody down a different path, but I think it's going to be valuable to anybody who chooses that path of trying new things.
Yeah, and I think it speaks to a little bit of, that's what my job is, essentially. Like and you and other guys on the team, but I see my job as I ride all the shit, so not everybody has to ride all the shit. Because not everybody has my mentality or, the way I like to address things. Some people just want to get on it and have it work.
Yeah.
A lot of people, like a lot of people don't want to deal with they want to have to tweak it to make it work, or that's what I enjoy doing.
Yep.
Like I enjoy making something that doesn't work.
Yeah.
But to do that, you got to be willing to risk it all.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I think it doesn't have to go just ski design. I think it can go, to speak back to, go back to the brass nuts, and the guy that's with his buddy skiing at the weekend. Just because that's work for that guy, or your ski partner. There's always the one ski partner that's a bit better than everybody else.
Yeah.
And he's the guy, and he's got all the knowledge.
Yep.
But that doesn't necessarily mean it's going to work for everybody.
Yeah.
And it's just being comfortable with just questioning something sometimes, and sometimes you got to go against what you feel, just so you can feel something different.
Yep.
To get out of that little zone, that little rut that you're in, you got to do. If you've been trying to turn easy and be patient, and just say screw it, I'm gonna go as hard as I can, and just
see what the result is. Yeah.
Just see it. Yeah. Let me see if I'm at the limit, or if I'm so far off the scale in the other direction. You gotta kind of test little things like that.
Yeah. Finding the boundaries, so you know where to be, how to find the middle.
Yeah. If you could test every boundary and just be in the middle of all of them, you're probably pretty good. If you're not super open, not super closed, somewhere in the middle, probably going to do pretty good.
Yep.
If your weight's not too much on the front foot, not too much on the back foot, probably going to do pretty good. Just the basic stuff.
We didn't get into the ideal ski path, but that is like my conception of the ultimate goal in skiing, performance-wise, is to ski what I call the middle path, which is like you're not too early, you're not as early as you can be, you're not as late as you can be, but you're skiing the path of least resistance, and that you're getting the most for the least amount of effort. So you're least likely to make mistakes, but you still have room enough to make up for mistakes if you do make them.
Yeah.
That's a hard thing to define, because based on your skill set, your unique expertise, your unique ability, each skier's middle path for each given pass is going to be completely different.
Yes.
The better skier you are, the wider that path of possible paths you can ski is. But anyway, you got more options. No, it's good, dude. How to try new things, why it's important. You're a feel skier. Everybody said you've always been a feel skier. Kind of like Mapple was a feel skier.
No, but I hear that a lot. But I don't. Sorry, I keep.
No, I know. No, it's great. I think that's the perception is like. I think it's because you have the other things you've also worked on, which is athleticism. The skill set off the water has translated to on the water your cat-like ability to save situations. Mm-hmm. I think that's like pretty unique for the most part. So people say, "Oh, he's got good feel." He can save situations and feel when he's out of position and get back in position. But I feel like you are a feel skier to me, because you are looking that trying new things. You're looking for the boundaries of those sensations and feelings, possible sensations and feelings, such that within whatever constraints you are testing that day, you can find the limit on either side. You know what I mean? So you're finding that feel.
If you're always in the green, essentially you never hit the reds on the limits. Or if you spend, I think maybe the one that drives me crazy is people who spend like years or seasons or weeks even trying to do the same thing and getting the same result over and over and over again.
Yeah.
I'm like, you're just wasting time. Like, do something different.
Yeah.
Whatever it is. Like if and it's not even that maybe your wording's right, but your application of it is wrong or not ideal for you. And maybe it could even be something simple like the way you have your ski set up just won't allow you to do that.
Yeah.
You know, there's a lot of stuff that we play with is different fin settings allow you to do different things. Like if you're a power skier, you're probably going to run deeper. Or,
like you told me the other day. I mean, I just was thinking just now. I tried one fin setting for like probably 6 or 8 years. I tried.
You essentially looked exactly the same for 6 or 8 years.
I tried other fin settings briefly, but I always went back to 6.929, 2.535 deep, 7.7 from the tail. And
do you know how much fin that is?
It's so much fin. I know.
The skis basically got you on a path at that point.
I know.
Like, it doesn't matter what you work on. It's still going to be on this steam train.
Nobody told me I was freaking skiing with one dread behind my back the whole time.
I might have told you that, but you didn't want to.
Yeah, you did tell me that too. Well, that's good, man.
But this is, that speaks to it as well. And always, it's easy now to look back and be like, oh, wow. And it's going to feel different. But if you change something, say a fin setting or even a ski or whatever it is, it's probably not going to feel the same. And the things that gave you success with that particular setup, the keys are probably going to be different.
Yeah.
Or the places where you can be more efficient in the course, or you can make up more time in the course. Like with a deeper, longer fin, you're gonna hold more ground. You're gonna have more to push against. You can be more powerful. But if you try and do that with a fin that's way shallow and longer, you're gonna overpower it. You're gonna get over angle. You can lose everything into the buoy. So it's kind of like being willing to,
you got to expect a different outcome. So basically what you're saying is it's not important. It's not just enough to try new things. You have to try new things with the perspective in mind that you are open to feeling something new. Yeah. You can't just try new things and expect it to feel better, but the same. It's going to have to feel different.
Yeah, I fall into that trap a lot. I have feelings that I get pulled towards. I like to feel the load come on. I like to feel it build pretty hard out of the buoy. I want to get back in control.
Yep.
Sometimes it's not, it's letting go of that and understanding that, okay, if you can give up on having that much control at the buoy, you can then pick up the control off the wakes going into the buoy.
Outbound to the next buoy. Yeah.
Yeah. But it just took me a long time to understand that there's different approaches and different ideas.
But you're figuring it out by trying stuff, which I think it's exemplary that our sport is like, honestly, it's like it's been one of the biggest teachers in my life in multiple ways. I've learned a lot from just the challenges and the self inquiry through the process of trying to do this thing we call skiing. It's fun.
It's phenomenal. It's got everything. It really does. You want to. You look at all the different personalities that we have in the sport.
I know.
You literally have people that will never change their ski ever.
No.
And they're enjoying it.
I know.
And then you have people that can't take a set without changing something, and they're enjoying it. Or you have
everything in between.
Everything in between. Yeah, that's pretty cool. I'm liking it.